What's up, guys? I want to welcome you guys to my channel, Speak Loud and Proud. I'm Aiko Finesse. I haven't posted in a few weeks. I just wanted to give you guys a clear update of what's been going on since I've had my top surgery, which that's mainly what my topics have been about. Just documenting and share with you guys the things I've been experiencing and what I've been through. Right now I am 6 weeks post-op. I'm still out on medical leave from work. I actually have hopefully my last follow-up tomorrow with my surgeon. Still restricted from like picking up stuff and doing anything that's pretty much going to strain my chest muscles. So far this is what I'm looking like far as scars. I've been treating my double incision for about 3 weeks now. As you can see, the color is starting to come back into my areola, which is a good thing. I also noticed that I had more muscle up under there than what I thought. So that's a good thing because I'm still restricted from working out and stuff. I have started doing walks. And it's crazy because I never do cardio. I have exercise-induced asthma, which pretty much only time I can really get an asthma attack is if I'm doing too much running or something like that. So I don't really care to do cardio, but I've really been enjoying my 6 mile walks. I go to what we call the riverfront here in Columbia, South Carolina, and it's 3 miles down and 3 miles back. So I definitely been enjoying that and trying to get some type of workout in. So far, as you guys know, I'm not on testosterone. It's not something that I'm looking to do right now, but I have been thinking about it. I just don't want it to be a decision I make because that's how I'm feeling at the moment. So I definitely want to make sure that's what I want to do. So right now, I haven't really made a definite decision. Definitely taking my time with my transition. So I'm kind of still up in the air about it. If I do decide to do testosterone, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the needle injections because of things that I've read about and actually stories I've heard. I actually have been conversating on the phone with a trans guy that's closer to me, which I thought is cool because I don't really know any trans guys here. And I actually ended up chatting with one yesterday that's actually in Columbia, so I thought that was dope. But just hearing one of the guy's story, how he had to come off testosterone because of the side effects and how it was affecting his blood pressure and all that stuff. So if I do decide to do T, it will definitely be through the gel, which it's a little bit more expensive, but it definitely bypasses the mood swings on top of other stuff. It's like you basically getting it the natural way your body produces it. So if I do decide to do T, that's the route I'm gonna go. But other than that, my main thing is getting my gender mark changed on my documentations, like my driver's license and my birth certificate. I was actually supposed to get the form from my surgeon, which they fill out for you to be able to show proof of your surgery. The lady that does the paperwork at the office, at Brian's office, she had actually forgot to do mine. So I gave her all the information my last follow-up, which was like 3 weeks ago. Basically, I had to give the name that I was born with, the gender I was born with, my date of birth, my place of birth, what I want to change my name to, and what I'm changing my gender mark to. The dopest thing about my transition is I'm not changing my name. I don't have to change my name. My name is unisex for one, and it's dope. Like Aiko Finesse is my legal name. I was born with. Aiko is my first name, and Finesse is my middle name. For those who a lot of people think is just for social media, they think it's just my DJing name, but it's not. It's actually my legal name, so I'm not changing my name. I just need to change my mark. It's two ways I can go about it. When I started doing my research, I did a lot of research before I even started my transitioning period, from surgery to paperwork and all that stuff. I did my research and I still do my research. So in the state of South Carolina, the first thing I came across, which it wasn't giving me like enough information. The first thing I came across was, I can change my gender mark in my state. I would have to get a petition through a judge and go see a judge and all this other stuff. And then I was also told that all I had to do was take the paperwork stating that I had had surgery to the DMV and just say I need to change some information on my ID. So and it's crazy because when I was doing my research, I came across a guy's video and he was like, he was getting he had to change his address or something on his license because he automatically was like, I'm guessing you need to change your mark too. And he told her, yeah, and she just changed it with no problem. So, which I don't even know what state he was in. I don't think it was South Carolina. So, I'm definitely gonna try the DMV first to see if that works. I might try a couple of them to see if I can get bypassed that, and then that way I can just go change it on my ID. I mean on my birth certificate. But so far my transition, that's the main thing that I want to get done. I was hoping to get it done before my birthday, but I don't think that's gonna happen. My birthday's in 3 weeks, but I do have my follow up tomorrow, so now I'm going to get the paperwork. So I'll probably just go to the DMV like that next day. So I never know, but I'm going to shoot for it. Only issue I've been having, which I had this talk with my close friends since my surgery, because I know a lot of them was asking me, was I going to change my pronoun? And in the beginning, it was like, I don't know, and da 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 da. But I know that's something that I want to do. Not only just because that's I would feel better, but it's protecting me as well. But I kind of had an incident where I had to tell one of my friends, like, behind closed doors, it doesn't bother me that much. It bothers me, but I know it's gonna take. Like I told them, I know it's gonna take some time for y'all to get used to and change my pronoun. But I really have a huge problem with it in public. Like, me and a friend was out, and when the waitress came, it was the waitress had messed up our bill or whatever, and we was trying to get her to fix it, but my friend just kept saying, oh, she's this and she's gonna do that, and I'm looking like, can you please stop? Like, come on. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel where they coming from, but what you guys know is not what a lot of people see. And I say that because for once, like I said, my voice isn't as soft. It has a little feminine to it. I know that. But like, for instance, I was in two things happened in one day. First thing, I had to pump gas, and I always fill my tank up. So when I went in, when I stepped into the gas station, I reached in my bag, and I thought I pulled out a 5 at first, but I meant to pull the 20. So when I went to go back in, when I went to go in my bag, I accidentally pulled a 5 out, and I told the guy, I was like, I need 20 on pump 11. So I handed him the bill, and then when I went to walk away, he was like, sir, sir. And I turned and he held the 5. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I switched out the 20. And then 2, when I left the gas station, I had to go to Walmart. And I ended up walking past, he had to be a supervisor or something. So I just walked past him, and he was like, hey, man, hey, I like your get up. I like your swag. And I was like, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to make them understand that what you guys know is not what people see. And 2 is to protect me, because I tend to think the worst of stuff. Like I was saying in one of my other blogs, how I went to a club, I went to a straight club, and they went to pat me down. I was the only one in the group that got patted down, because of course he see a male image, and then I don't want it to be to where I get patted down, then I show my ID, and then they see an F, and I don't want it to cause a confrontation to where they flag somebody or let somebody and they bother me. I just think the worst of stuff. I think about my safety, which I have other close people who that's their main concern, is my safety, because of how trans people are treated. So that's the main thing I look at. But other than that, that's it. Another thing that I've been thinking about too is having a conversation with my son. For those that don't know, I have a 6-year-old son from a previous relationship. When I stepped in his life and was dating his mom, he was 3 months at the time. And, we've had our ups and downs after the breakup, but we co-parent very well. And, she's allowed me to be able to stay in his life, because she know how he feels about me and how I feel about him. And all respect to his mom, she definitely does take how her kids feel into consideration, their feelings. So me and her had to talk because when my son started talking, my name was Dad, so you can't really teach a 2 year old, what to call you too quick. I mean, and even when he got 3 and 4, we was like, Trey, that's not a girl, that's not a man, that's a girl. And he would literally argue with people like, no, it's not, he a boy. He would even argue with little kids, and he would get mad. He was like, they say you a girl, but you not a girl, you a boy. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So we kind of were like, over time we'll talk to him. And I think when he hit like 4, me and his mom fell out real bad, and I had got his attitude. I was like, you know what, fuck you, he better off without me, and he'll forget about me, and this and that and the third. So like I went like 8 months without seeing and talking to him, and around his fifth, I want to say his fourth, no, his fifth birthday, I think. She ended up hitting me up and was like, I don't know what's going on with you and what you got going on, but Trey is asking about you. He keep asking about you, and you know how I feel about that and this and then the third, and and basically, I ended up coming back around. And when I started coming back around, he started calling me AK, which is one of my nicknames or whatever. So, basically, when me and his mom had the conversation, I was like, well, Trey, he went to my first post op when I got my drains taken out, and that was the first time he saw me with no shirt on, because I've always been fully clothed around him. I've never was never around him in a sports bra, wife beater, no nothing. Like I was always fully clothed. So I was like, well, he didn't even question me or ask me, what my surgery was on or nothing. And she was like, he ain't asked you nothing. I was like, nothing. So but basically I was like, I don't know how to have that talk with him. And she basically was like, well, I'm gonna leave that for you guys. I'm gonna leave that for you to have that conversation with him. So, I mean, I'm still up in the air on how, like, where to start, what to say. I'm just that type of parent. I never want to lie to my son about nothing. I always want to be honest with him, because honesty is the best way to be. I try to instill in him, just how to be a good person, how to be a good person in life, period. So lying is just never been my thing. Not just with him, with anybody. Like I suck at lying anyway, so I just rather keep it 100. And I definitely want to raise my son to be the same way. So that's about it with that. He's always asking to be, now that he knows that I have a YouTube channel, he's keep asking, well, can I be in one of your videos one day for YouTube? So I probably will let that be a blog for you guys to see, how that is, being trans and coming out to your kid. So, and then it's crazy. I have a godson, my best friend that took me to my surgery. Well, actually, he was in my video too on my surgery day. The little kid that was walking with me. It's crazy because me and my best friend was talking, and she was like, one day Kingston was like, that's not my godmommy anymore. That's my godfather. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, yeah, he really said that. And I was like, that's crazy. Like kids really pay attention to what's going on around them. Like y'all think kids ain't got sense, they got plenty of sense. So that's just another thing, man. Just that's the main thing that is on my mind is my son, and wanting him to understand and stuff like that. But other than that, man, that's it. I'm just pretty much grinding. As you can see, my phone stay going off with me DJing and stuff like that. So as always, man, if you guys got any comments or any questions that you want to ask me, feel free to write them at the bottom, or you can always write me on Instagram. It's crazy because people that inbox, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you respond. I'm like, I mean, I'm just a regular person. I don't, which I get where they're coming from, because it's people that I've reached out to that got like a heavy followers, and I've inboxed, asked questions or whatever, and they don't even respond. But I'm not that type of person. I'm not no better than nobody else. So, while I have the time, because, I know God got bigger things in store for me, and, I might, get to that point where I can't respond. So I definitely try to take advantage and respond to people, especially with people, kind of looking at me as a role model now, and I give them hope. So I definitely try to, keep that door open to responding to you guys. So yeah, man. Or like I said, if you got any topics that you want my input on or what I think about something, man, definitely drop them below. I get the notifications, or you can inbox me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm definitely open to that. But as I always end every video, if it's not hurting you or harming others, do what the fuck makes you happy. I am Aiko Finesse. Peace.